Hi everyone, it's Nick here once again from TrainAid, and in today's video we are looking at the Level 4 Certificate in Education and Training, and this is Unit 2. So we are looking at the different types of initial assessments. We're looking at a variety of these within our first question, and we're looking at the strengths and limitations of them as well. So my second initial assessment example is interview. So quite a common initial assessment within teacher training qualifications. I will just explain a little bit about the purpose of interviews and also the strengths and limitations as well. So what is an interview? So an interview is an initial assessment activity where the interviewer will discuss a number of points with the learner to really determine whether or not they will be suitable for the course ahead. So there'll be a series of questions which help to establish the students' background, their background knowledge, their goals, their aspirations, and also support needs as well. So it's a two-way conversation with the learner to see, what can I do as your teacher to support you during this course as well. It can also serve to find out any barriers to learning. This could be things such as learning difficulties, personal challenges, and it's fantastic to have those conversations in an open manner because any sort of concerns can be discussed. We can obviously arrange additional support for the learner. We can also assign certain staff members to support them. It could be perhaps a learning support assistant. It could even be a translator, interpreter, to support them with their course program. So all of that rich information is going to be discussed. And also we are going to create an individual learning plan as well. So an ILP, which is a document which can really sort of help learners to stay on track during their program. So it kind of breaks down the course aim and objectives into manageable chunks, and it has review dates as well, where the teacher will check in with the learner on a one-to-one basis to see the learner's strengths and any areas for development, any concerns as well. So obviously the purpose of the interview is to build that strong rapport with your learner, to find out, as mentioned, their goals, their readiness for the course. Are they willing to learn and to learn perhaps new skills? Here at TrainAid, we do adopt this approach with the level 4 and the level 5 teacher training qualification. So we always have like an interview at the start of the course to get to know the learner, and we always invite their mentor along as well, because it is quite a big commitment, the level 4 and 5 teaching courses. So it's good to discuss the course structure and whether or not the course is for them. Just moving on to the strengths then. So absolutely, one of the key strengths, in my opinion, is a personal approach. So an advantage of conducting interviews with learners is that it allows the teacher to assess the candidate's communication skills. So you're going to see about those those kind of individual communication skills, their confidence, and it sort of gives you an understanding as a teacher about whether or not the learner is going to gel within the class with their fellow classmates, for example. And it's really kind of a great way to see kind of the learner's personality, their motivation for the course. And are they going to be a good fit for the course and also the culture of the organization? So you could actually signpost a learner to another course if you feel that perhaps they're not going to be cut out for your course. Or, you know what, on the other side, the learner might be at a higher level, so they could perhaps bypass your course and go on to a different one, maybe. You never know. But I think it's a great way to find out a bit more information about the learner. Another key point is clarity. So to clarify any information. So an application form can help learners to to clarify any information. So if you have your an application form with you, you can bring that along to your interview, and by having that live experience with an interviewer, you can discuss anything on the application form, which I think is really good. So I remember as a former sixth form college teacher, every September we would have student enrollments. They would bring their application form, and we would use that as kind of a basis for the interview. So it's a great way to kind of go through the grades, their motivations for the course, their aspirations. And if there's any sort of questions on the application form, it's a great way with the interview to clear up anything which might be confusing as well. So interviews can provide confidence and clarity for the learner, so they can begin the program with reassurance and high motivation levels as well. So I think clarity, the opportunity to discuss questions is key. Just on to limitations then. So in terms of limitations of an interview, obviously there's an issue that with interviews, they do take a long period of time. You do need to assign multiple staff. If you've got, you know, many learners being interviewed, you might need to book out facilities, you might need to send letters as well. So you need a structured list of questions to support your interviewer as well. This ensures fairness for all learners. So obviously interviewers will have their own sort of style of interviewing delivery, and we need to be careful of that. We need to ensure that the questions asked by the learner, sorry, asked by the interviewer are fair, that you know that learners do have that good experience of an interview. But it is quite a time-consuming approach, and the cost implications as well. You might need to pay interviewers, booking out facilities as mentioned there, so you need to be organized. I kind of alluded to this a little bit. So interviewers may make decisions about the learner depending on perhaps a personal bias, or perhaps what are they looking for. So an interviewer might really pride, you know, learners on perhaps first impressions rather than the learner's skills or experiences. So you need to kind of be crystal clear on what the interviewer should be looking for. Having perhaps a set criteria or some set questions, and therefore it's making the process fairer as well. And ultimately the interviewer is going to make a judgment call, and they might get the wrong judgment, you know, so they might you know, leave the learner perhaps feeling a little bit deflated if they don't go on to the course. But I think it's always good to have some interviewer training within education and training, perhaps some standardization meetings, so they know how interviews are going to be structured. But I think they're incredibly valuable for getting to know your learners and putting any nerves at ease. So with interviews, you can of course select and write about this for one of your initial assessments. You can of course write about your own experiences of interviews. What do they look like? And we're looking for a couple of paragraphs on the strengths and a couple of paragraphs on the limitations as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like the video, share and subscribe. Any questions, feel free to ask. Bye for now.